Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wolfcraft. It's your boy the Ninja Wolf, and we're here flying high above the shopping district. And we've got some pretty exciting news. We are now the owners of the grocery barn. That's right. Pursuant Wolf and Annie built this, and they ended up having to go back to work and take care of family matters. So they have put this place on the market, and I took it from them. So what we have is pretty much every edible food in the game: pork chops, steak, golden carrots, and golden apples being right at the forefront. But we also have everything else. Literally, if you can think of it, we've got it. And I'm going to be doing some stocking of that today. I'm going to take a look at some of the stuff we got going on down here. Here's our chicken cookerator, 5,000. And all kind of chicken products coming out of there. We've got some wheat here, got some carrots over here. We're gonna have to plant some more stuff, beets and potatoes down here as well. And then we've got all of our mushroom cows over here that we're going to use for both mushroom soup and for the meat, the steaks, and the leather, because we always need books, right? We're also gonna sell the leather and the feathers, but I don't know if anybody who really needs that many feathers, but we're going to definitely be selling the leather as well as using that for our own nefarious purposes. Okay, not nefarious, but you know what I mean. So Pursuant had carved herself out a little area back here to live in. She gave this all up for adoption. And since I have adopted it, I'm going to probably move some of that farm stuff back here. So it's not directly underneath the barn, because those chickens are starting to get really loud in there. We may save some of those eggs for the time being, because we've got plenty of chicken and feathers in there, and move the chicken cooker down, as well as building probably a cram module for sheep and for cows. We've got a big wheat field out here too. I may just use some of this stuff as decoration as well. That way it looks like everything's being put to good use, but we can always use this as well to harvest the wheat to make bread. But with that said, we actually have some other things we're going to do today. We are going to be working on a mob farm. I've been needing to get a mob farm going, and we're probably going to try to redo our sugarcane production, because we need rockets. And here we are back in our base area. Look at all the mobs out here. They're just burning to a crisp. Some of them are not, though. Those wily little creepers right there. I see you, boys. I'm just going to leave you alone, though. I don't need any of that nonsense right now. So, guys, while we're over here at Castle Wolf, let's look at some of the things that we've done since the last video. We did finish out our trading hall on stream. Got all of our villagers in there, and it is fully functional and ready to go. The only thing that we're missing right now are the 2 enchantments that are not yet available until 116, and that's Shopping 3 for the axe and Soul Speed 3 for boots. Everything else is filled out. All of them, most of them are down to 1 emerald each. Some of them are 4 or 5. I may have to turn a couple of them again to get them back down to 1, because if you don't trade with them on a regular basis, what I've understood is that they will raise their prices again. So we need to make sure that we get that going, which is another reason why we need our sugarcane farm back in good production, so that we can get enough paper to trade with all these guys, make our books to trade with these guys, and make the books so that we can use those and emeralds to get the enchanted books that we need. But you see here, we got our farmers going. The ones that, now they all take melons, but the ones with pumpkins above them only take, I'm sorry, the one with melons above them only take melons. They don't take pumpkins as well. So this guy will take pumpkins and melons, whereas this guy does not take pumpkins, only melons. But it's all good. We're going to take a lot of the stuff that we've gotten from these trades and use that to stock the grocery barn. All right, guys. So in an effort to get ourselves into some better efficiency with our farms, we are going to leave this farm, but redesign another one underground. It's going to bring all the sugarcane up into this item elevator here that will load up all these chests. So I don't want to not have the storage over here for this stuff, but I do want to have better production. So let's build ourselves another sugarcane farm. All right, guys. So we've got some things now, some supplies for the item elevator for the sugarcane farm. So let's go ahead and build that now. This is the block here. What we're going to do is we're going to put ourselves, I'm going to get it in my hand, a little dropper right there. And I'm going to dig straight up. I'm sorry, you guys can't see me. Hello. I'm going to dig straight up right there and go ahead and build the item elevator out of green wool, lime green wool. That way there's no mistaking that this is something that does not need to be torn down. So let me get that done and I'll be right back. Hey guys, placing the last few pieces of wool here now, and that will take us right up to the item elevator bubble vader for the sugarcane. You'll see the sugarcane float in here eventually sometime, but that all goes in there, goes into a dropper. The dropper shoots it into the bubble vader, and the bubble vader takes it all the way up and into the chest. So let's go now back down below and get that started down there. All right, so we're at the center point of the item elevator here with the dropper. We're gonna make just the most basic dropper clock we can. We're gonna need a comparator coming out of there. That's gonna let us know when there's something in the dropper. That will go into a repeater and then back into another comparator on subtract. I have no idea why we put it on subtract. All I know is that's how we do it. Then we're going to need a block here that we will send another repeater signal into, and then we just connect it all up with some redstone dust. And this is going to make a clock here. So anytime there's something in here, it's going to see that there's something in there, send that pulse here. This will make the clock, which also sends the pulse back into this block, which powers the dropper and starts shooting the items up. And the way we finish that off is very simple. We just drop this all the way down to the ground. And then from here, what we're going to need to do is start our hopper line. We'll have a few hoppers here. Water streams will be pushing all the sugarcane onto this hopper line here, and it'll all be taken up and put into the system. So now it's time to actually start building the water line and the sugarcane farm itself. All right, so we've got all of our materials. We're going to start off with a line of hoppers right here, and we're just going to put a few here. And that way, when all of the sugarcane comes in from the water stream, it'll go across all of these and it'll start immediately getting sucked in so that there's not a lot of standing entities. So there's that. Let's take some of these logs, spruce logs, and break them down into planks. I'm going to use these as building materials for the water streams and for the farm itself. All right, guys, we got the channel laid down with some blue ice in the bottom of it. That way, when the sugarcane gets down here, it'll go across there super fast, end up in these hoppers down here, and go right up the item elevator, into the bubble vader, and into the chest up above. Now let's get some ice put in here and get some ice channels, water channels, excuse me, flowing down this way. Okay, so we've got 2 levels of sugarcane on both sides. 2 sides, 2 levels each. Roughly a stack of sugarcane for each level to create it. 35 actually, close to 70. Close to 70 plots per level. So this should be cranking out the sugarcane pretty quickly, at least as fast as I'm going to need it to crank out to do fireworks and trade with villagers. But it's very basic. There's one observer every so often. It'll see when that sugarcane grows up, and it'll trigger both sides because the line of redstone goes down between those 2 sides. I'll come back up here and show you real quick. Observers on each side, redstone line connects both sides, And of course the signal only goes so far, so this one down here on the end won't trigger the ones all the way at the other end. It'll only go so far, but it will trigger, you know, so far on both sides. So we should be sitting pretty as far as sugarcane goes very soon, so we can have the paper to do rockets and trade with villagers and possibly even sell some. All right, guys, so now we need to start gathering up our materials for the mob farm, and I think I've got a place already picked out that's going to be really good for this mob farm. It's going to be, you know, the diamond shape mob farm, and we're going to build it over a deep ocean biome. As I'm standing here smelting up a much more smooth stone, it occurs to me that I was supposed to be recording, and apparently my OBS was not recording, so you guys missed the first 3 platforms on the top of the mob farm. And a lot of people build the mob farm from the bottom up. I did it backwards. I'm building it from the top down, but that's okay. It's going to serve the same purpose. It's going to be the same functionality. So as soon as these things get done here, we'll get back to the what was supposed to be a time lapse. So here we go. All right, guys, so we have finally finished the mob farm. Sorry that I didn't quite let you see everything, but it's one of the standard water flush systems, and you can see it is working really well. And the problem is, if anybody can answer this in the comments for me, when the water triggers, it should trigger from the bottom. We've got an ethyl hopper clock kind of thing going on here. Pushes it back and forth, and when the redstone changes, it hits this observer, which hits the water dispenser, dispenses the water, observer, dispenser, water, observer, so forth and so on, all the way up. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes, if we'll watch it for just a minute, you'll see that the water will turn on, off to some of these dispensers, and I'm not really sure why that is. So if anybody has any ideas why that might be, and it didn't do it that time at all. And I would say that this is kind of a successful mob farm. What do you guys think? But if anybody has any idea why the water may flicker, I guess you could call it, we'll watch it one more time and see if it does it. I may have to extend that lower ring too, because it is not quite. See how it's doing that? I don't understand why, because now that water didn't turn off. Those didn't turn off. Some of them turned off and some of them did not because they were flickering. And I don't understand what the problem is there. So if anybody's got any ideas why that is, please hit me up. In the meantime, let's start figuring out how we're going to do the item collection system. Right now, we've just got them sitting on some hoppers. And of course, that's not quite doing the job either, because they're going outside that 3x3 sometimes. So I might go 1 row out and make it 5x5. Funnel that all in, bring it up the back side here to the platform I've got going up, and I'm probably gonna have to take these slabs and move them out one and drop some water in there and see if that keeps them from landing there, or maybe just bring the whole circle out one. But at any rate, we're going to bring the drops all the way up a bubble vader to the platform up here, and we'll make this platform a lot bigger, and we'll do the Impulse SV item sorter so that we can sort out the string, gunpowder, bones, you know, sort everything out in one big area. So guys, stick around with me for just a minute. Let me gather up some materials and I will be right back. All right, guys, and just like that, the sorting system is built. We have a lot of stuff already. Now, this video spans the course of about probably 3 to 4 days because I was just doing this video off and on. in my spare time until I can get myself appropriated for a time to actually film. And so this video is taking about 4 days to get out. I just started building the mob farm yesterday. So it's been less than 24 hours the mob farm has been up. As you'll see that this catch platform and the drop hole has been changed up a little bit. The drop hole down here has been widened. And then we connected it to the collection system, which goes up this bubble vader and into a standard impulse SV item filter on the back side. This has been running for less than 24 hours. In fact, staggered less than 24 hours. And that's how many bones I've got. It should be coming to the second chest now. Or the third chest, excuse me. Same with the arrows. String is at that. I've only got 10 spider eyes. I think you only get those when you actually kill spiders. So that's probably not even necessary. But we're all the way up to the second chest full of rotten flesh. And the gunpowder, look at that. All the way up into the third one. I think what I might end up doing eventually will be to take and put trapdoors on those levels of the mob farm and do away with everything I could possibly do away with except for creepers and spiders. Now I know you can't really get rid of spiders without doing the walls in the middle, and we might do that, but I don't really mind the spiders so much because I can always use the string. If nothing else, we can use the string for wool. But definitely the biggest thing I'm looking for is the gunpowder. So, you know, 2 double chests plus in less than 24 hours is really good. So we're going to call it right there, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Come back and hang out with me more often. Watch all of the videos that you can. Make sure you hit the notification bell too so you don't miss a video. Also, make sure you join me on Mixer, mixer.com/TheNinjaWolf for all the live streams. We'll be working on the villages. You can see a village behind me over to the bottom right there. We'll be working on those. We'll be working on stuff over in this village over here, and then all the way back over to Castle Wolf as we continue to build our kingdom, our fortress, our empire, and continue to grow across this server. Thank you guys again. I will see you guys in the next episode.